Hello. Good morning. Well, I had a bit of a rough start to the day. My kidney was acting up in the night, so I'm prone to having kidney stone attacks, which really sucks. Oh, and by the way, I'm probably looking at the camera. I'm probably supposed to be looking over here. But whatever, I don't care. Yeah. I so I just wanted to have a little chat about the body and emotions. So, for a long time, I was having attacks, pain attacks, um, off and on. And I really thought that it was something to do. First, I thought it had something to do with my reproductive organs. So I went through all these tests and stuff and whatnot and all that fun. And then decided that maybe I'm allergic to, or not allergic, but maybe I'm sensitive to gluten. So then, the doctor thought it'd be a good idea to try a gluten free diet. And he thought, maybe there was something wrong with my intestine because of like the pain attacks I was having were always on my left side. Very, like, maybe once or twice it reverberated to the right side. And I think that telling the doctor that caused some confusion. Anyhow, so I had my gallbladder checked, even though that's on the other side of the body, because the doctor thought that maybe, you know, in his experience, sometimes people with pain in the flanks of their body, it can, if it's on one side, it can reverberate to the other side if it's bad enough. So he thought, well, maybe you're having a gallbladder attack or something. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the gallbladder. So, in the midst of all this stuff, they did find a stone in my kidney, which was just barely mentioned. You know, the doctor's like, I forget the size of it, but he's like, it's small at the time. He's like, yeah, you have this. They found a stone in your kidney, and I'm like, okay, but that was it. Like, all he really said was, oh well, it'll just probably break down and pass. Well, really, this whole time, I was just passing kidney stones. I was just like all the time. It felt like. I mean, sometimes it would happen randomly. Other times, my body would give me some warning that it was about to occur. uh, I don't want to go into too much explanation because even people say, "Oh, did you go to the hospital?" Yes, I tried twice to go during an attack, but at that time, I had no idea it was a kidney stone attack. And I'm thinking that there's something wrong with my friggin' uterus or something. Like, because one time I went in, and when I told them I was having pain on my left side, they decided to check my heart. So they strap those little things on you and stuff. And I'm like, what the hell? It's not, I know it's not my heart. There's something going down on in my midsection, but since I said that it had been, kind of like where my ribs are and everything, there, anyways. And they did a urine test that came back, like, they would check for infection. Of course, there's no infection. Um, Anyways, so that was sort of brushed off, like, oh, well, we couldn't find anything. So, meanwhile, I was still in quite a bit of pain. um, I went home. And then another time I went in with the same pain. So they got a woman doctor to look at me. And she's like, like, this time they did another urine test, and of course, there's no infection, right? And, you know, okay. But what's the pain? What the fuck is this pain, right? Oh my God. How can you go, like, over 6 years or so with this goddamn pain in the left side and going to the doctor, and he's like, ah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you're supposed to be a professional. I have left side pain. And you go to the gynecologist, and they're like, no, the pain is up too high. It's not where, it's not a gynecological pain. Even the gynecologist is like, your doctor needs to put you, like, you need to have more testing. But he thought, again, like, it could be gastrointestinal drama. Anyhow, I go back to the doctor with pains, and then by then I was having other problems that need to be rectified for about a year. And I took medication for, I'm not going to get into that, but I took medication for that problem for about a year. And then I came off the medication, and the problem is coming back. It's probably not serious because I'd had like a biopsy done and everything, and that came back fine. So I'm thinking right now it's just probably just a hormonal imbalance at my age and like that kind of fuckery. But what I really was trying to say was, yes, they did start checking. They did ultrasound on my kidney finally, after I went 3 years on gluten-free diet and was still having the same problems. I mean, I felt good for a bit, but then I started having attacks again, right? So, it wasn't having anything to do with gluten. But I'll tell you, I learned a lot about how to make gluten-free food. And I have some pretty good recipes for baking. But, well, I mean, that's a learning experience. Unnecessary, but whatever. So, yes, I had ultrasounds done on my kidneys, and every single time after that, they found a stone in there. So, yes, I was indeed passing kidney stones. Now, yes, so the other time I was saying was I was with that woman doctor. Oh my God, I'm all over the place. I was with that lady doctor at the hospital. So she was, like, I just broke down and cried because I was in so much pain. And I was like, I'm in pain. Like, what is wrong with me? Like, I've been here before. Like, I can't find it. Anyway, so she gets me lay down, and she's like, okay, well, let me feel your abdomen. So she's, touching her. She's like, maybe you have endometriosis. And then she's like, you see a gynecologist. It's like, holy fuck. Like, we've already done this. And then she sends me home. Having a kidney stone attack is so unpleasant. But, so basically, every single time I'm passing stones, I've been home. The worst of it, I find, happens in the night. Like, honestly, you just feel like you want to die. Like, you just want to pass out, you just want to die. Or you think you're going to die. It's a pain. Like, I don't know if you've ever passed a stone. In my experience, it's like, all of a sudden, you get this pain, and it just revs up, right? And then, you know how, like, if you stub your toe, and, you have the peak of pain, and then it just sort of, and it subsides, right? No. You're passing a kidney stone out of your main, like, a fucking organ. It hurts. So, you get this elevated pain, right? And then, just when you think that it couldn't get any worse, it just goes higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. And then you're throwing up. Because you're not sick with the flu or nothing, but the pain is so bad that you're barfing. At least that's what I was like when on the onset of it, like when it starts to really rev up, like the um coming through, right? Like it's doing its thing, and it's the pain gets amped up. And it's honestly, it's really hard. It really hurts to try to use the bathroom, especially when you don't know what's going on and you think you have the urgency to pee. And you go to try to pee and you feel like you're constipated from your fucking every bottom of your hole, and like, yeah. So there were some times where I had passed stones and I stayed in bed for a few days. Like I felt so sick, but I didn't know what was going on. Like, um, I think a few times I had like a fever, and really shaky and sweaty, and like out feeling really out of it and a lot of pain, like for a few days, because like I don't know if I passed bigger stones, and you'd have some bleeding and stuff, but again, like, and like, especially when I hear people who had gone to the hospital with kidney stone attacks, that like it was aware what's going on and they were given like morphine or something, and here I'm trying to take an extra strength not Tylenol, Advil. I'm trying to trick myself into thinking that it's going to work. So I don't know. I mean, like what I had to do during the attack is I had to go try to get a pill into me. It's just hard because I can't even stand up straight. Like I can barely walk. So then I get to the bed, and then I just writhe in pain, and try to breathe properly. I find breathing, that kind of pain, you have to control your breathing. Anyhow, I just pass all the stones at home. And I tell you, when I feel like that, I really don't even want to go to the hospital because like it's hard to move. Like I can't even drive. I wouldn't be able to drive myself to the hospital. So I just stick it out at home. It doesn't kill me. So, you know, I mean, what's a little bit of pain, right? Anyhow, but the connection between the emotions and the pain. So what I did notice was when I got stressed out, like, or I got really down, I noticed that my kidney, well, now I know it's my kidney, my left side, my left flank would start to ache. It would ache and ache. It's like almost, it's interesting how your mind can cause so much ruckus in your body if you let it. If you let it. If you can garner some control over that, right? That's the thing. So I notice for me, like emotionally, if I become like stressed out or whatever, things bother me. Like there's like, the world's been crazy, but you know, I get pain. My body hurts in certain ways. But the most prevalent would be my left side, my left kidney hurts. If I When this becomes um unbalanced, my kidney becomes unbalanced. So then I did some research on the connection between, emotions and illnesses and disease in the body. And the connection with the kidney is fear. That's the emotion. They say that if you're having, like, let's just say like something else. If you're having they say if you're having lung problems, it's usually connected to like grief. But that's just an example. Now with the kidneys, it's talking about fear. And Also, it goes as far as what particular side of the body, because one side of the body is represented by masculine ener- energy, and the other side is a feminine type energetic side of the body. And that's the thing, folks, is every single one of us, our physical body, energy body, has a feminine and masculine side. And I would say most of us in this world are imbalanced in that aspect. And it can create illness in the body. So if some in other circumstances you get this straight, you can help this. Or vice versa. Like body, mind. And yeah, like I become aware of it, but it's lessons, right? We have to learn things. Sometimes our body, you know, it tells us things, right? Like, um, there's other thing factors like, eating too much salt and shit or whatever. Or maybe, like hormones can definitely muddle up your kidney function. When I definitely had trouble with that. So that goes hand in hand. But I definitely do notice a correlation for sure between emotional imbalance, and pain in the body. Like, I don't know. Like, for some people, it could be arthritis, um, cancer. Cancer's another big one because even that, you let yourself get, if you allow yourself to get too far down, in some cases, you can manifest cancer in the body, which could be compounded by the influence of like outside factors, like maybe your diet and such. But I really believe that a lot of it has to do with your emotional part of yourself, and that also ties into your spiritual side. Like, and I'm not really necessarily talking about church or anything like that, because everybody's tied to the spirit world. We're connected. Um, when we have souls and stuff, we're connected, right? So, you know, um, ooh, my stomach growled. It could be like, yeah, I'm having hunger distress. Yeah, like, so spiritually, you could be having a lot of trouble with, whatever that entails for you. And it could greatly affect your body. And it could manifest as major illnesses, like, I guess that's the insidiousness of our world and our lives and the connectedness of everything, and and just this big long spiel going on about that. It's actually making me feel better this morning because yeah, there's just too much stuff going on in the world. So, like there's probably going to be a lot of pain. There's just pain, okay? Oh, yeah. And I get hunger pains because I'm hungry. Anyhow, I just wanted to have a big long talk about kidneys and emotional imbalance. And that's would be all.